8th, we have read our chapter, that is chapter 8, cell structure and function. So today we will try to understand the chapter in digi. So you people please pay attention to this. I hope आप लोगों के concepts जितने भी हैं clear होंगे इसे देखकर. Starting with cell, that is a building block of life.
Both the living and non-living are composed of atoms and molecules. The organization of these molecules into cells distinguishes living things from all other matter. The bricks of the building and cells in the living organisms are basic structural units. Just as bricks are assembled to make a wall, cells come together to make tissue. For example, heart muscle tissue. The walls come together to make a room, and tissues come together to make an organ. The heart, for instance. We know that rooms come together to make a floor or story. Similarly, organs come together to make a system, such as the circulatory system. Just as floors come together to make a building, different systems come together to make the body of an organism. Today we shall discuss the cell, the smallest unit of life that can carry out all the processes of life.
So how many cells are there in our body? This you have read now. How many cells are there in your body? Is it in hundreds, thousands, millions or trillions? So the answer will be trillions.
In 1665, Robert Hooke examined a piece of cork under his primitive microscope. What did he see? Hooke discovered that the cork had many small holes, just like a honeycomb.
तो देखिए रॉबर्ट हुक ने क्या देखा कि जो सेल है वो इस तरह से है, उसके बीच में माइक्रोस्कोप के अंदर देखा तो उसका स्ट्रक्चर किसके जैसा है? एक हनीकॉम्ब के जैसा.
Hooke coined the word cell, which meant a small compartment. A single cell can be very large. The egg of an ostrich is the largest cell in the world. Or a cell can be microscopic. For example, bacteria.
So which of the following are unicellular? All of these are unicellular, that is paramecium, bacteria, yeast and amoeba. All these are unicellular organisms.
A unicellular organism such as amoeba captures and digests food. Respond.
तो ये देखिए, ये इस तरह से अमीबा होता है जिसकी कोई डेफिनेट शेप नहीं होती, सिंगल सेल है. अमीबा कैन ईट, रेस्पायर एंड रिप्रोड्यूस इवन दो इट इज अ सिंगल सेल ऑर्गेनिज्म.
Others excretes, grows, and even reproduces. Similar functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by different systems. We know that systems are made up of different organs, and organs are made up of different kinds of tissue. The tissues in turn are made up of specialized cells. A multicellular organism requires a huge number of specialized cells. Organisms exhibit an array of sizes. Do all organisms have the same number of cells in their bodies? Smaller organisms have fewer cells than larger organisms.
So the number of cells varies from organism
but this does not affect the functioning of the smaller organisms in any way. Now, let us consider the size of the cells in different organisms. Do smaller organisms have cells that are smaller? Are the nerve cells quite similar in size and structure? Yes. Nerve cells in both elephant and mouse perform the same function of transferring messages. Well, in the world of cells, the size of the organism does not matter.
An amoeba moves and captures food with the help of pseudopodia. This you know कि जो अमीबा है वो मूव करता है और कैप्चर करता है फूड को किसकी हेल्प से, दैट इज pseudopodia. Pseudopodia क्या होते हैं? फॉल्स फीट.
Multicellular organisms such as human beings have trillions of cells, which vary in shape. Normal red blood cells are disc-shaped. However, they are highly flexible and can also change their shape so that they can pass through tiny capillaries. On the other hand, the muscle cells are elongated. The nerve cells are usually long and branched. Why do these cells have different shapes? The shape of the cells is related to their specific functions. Round red blood cells can flow smoothly through the blood vessels. Elongated muscle cells help in the movements of the skeleton and internal organs. The nervous system controls and coordinates the working of different parts of the body with the help of the nerve cells that are highly branched and elongated. Now, which part of the cell gives it a particular shape? Let us take an example, a single cell which can be seen easily. Yes, an egg. The cell's components are enclosed in a cell membrane. This cell membrane provides
तो सेल मेम्ब्रेन क्या करती है क्लास? सेल मेम्ब्रेन provides shape to the cell of plants and animals. Is it clear what does cell membrane do? Cell membrane provides shape to the cell of plants and animals.
to the cells of plants and animals.
Which cell in our blood can change its shape? Red blood cells. So this is a mind map basically that is given to you cell structure और function के basis पे. यहाँ पर RBC आप देखेंगे तो RBC is disc shape, smooth flow और muscle cells कैसे होते हैं? Muscle cells are spindle shape. किस लिए useful होते हैं? They are useful for the movement. Nerve cells कैसे होते हैं? Long branch shape and used in the transmission. उसके बाद आता है आपका स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द सेल.
Cells have many different shapes and sizes, but at molecular and chemical level, all cells work in a similar manner. They all have a similar master plan or structural organization. To understand the structural organization of a cell, let's compare it with the structural organization of a country. A country has an identity because of its marked international boundary. Movement across this boundary is strictly regulated. In the same way, cells have a well-defined outer plasma membrane that controls the movement of substances across the cell. All of a country's external and internal activities are controlled by its government. Similarly, in a cell, the nucleus controls all processes. Different sectors, industries, and people are the components of a country that help in its sustenance. Cellular components, organic and inorganic material present in the cell, play a similar role inside the cell. This matrix is called the cytoplasm. So the three well-defined regions in the organization of a living cell are the outer plasma membrane, the nucleus, and the cytoplasm. All living cells are bounded by a living membrane called the plasma membrane or the cell membrane.
What is plasma membrane? It is the outermost covering of all the living cells.
Electron microscopic studies have revealed that the plasma membrane is a flexible bilayer structure made up of lipids with protein molecules between them. It allows certain material to enter or exit the cell freely. At the same time, it prevents the movement of many other molecules. Because of this property, the plasma membrane is said to be selectively permeable or semi-permeable.
What kind of membrane is plasma membrane? It is selectively permeable membrane.
Can you think of a cell whose plasma membrane allows it to engulf all of the food material inside the cell? The answer is amoeba.
See, what does amoeba do? Amoeba engulf food by the process of phagocytosis. See how ये है आपका food particle और ये है amoeba. See how it will engulf the food.
And this process is called phagocytosis. Some white blood cells in our body are also capable of this. In addition to the plasma membrane, many cells also have a hard and rigid cell wall.
तो काफी cells होते हैं जिनमें एक hard और rigid cell wall होती है plasma membrane के addition में.
It is located outside the plasma membrane. The presence of a cell wall is a defining characteristic of all plants, bacteria, and fungi. The chemical composition of cell wall varies among these groups. For example, in plant cells, the cell wall is mainly composed of a complex carbohydrate, cellulose.
प्लांट्स में सेल वॉल किससे कंपोज होती है?
The cell wall is dead and allows free movement of any material across the cell.
सेल वॉल क्या करती है? सेल वॉल allows movement of material across the cell. See, you can see here in the figure that how the material is moved inside the cell. Discuss the importance of semi-permeable nature of plasma membrane.
Cancer, HIV, and other significant threats to human health operate at the cellular level. For instance, a cancerous cell gets out of control and keeps dividing endlessly. This
See, किस तरह से आपके जो कैंसर सेल्स होते हैं, कैंसर सेल्स डिवाइड करते हैं, जिसके कारण ट्यूमर क्रिएट होते हैं.
results in a tumor. The reasons behind cancers can be many, but the main problem is the lack of control. How do our cells know that it is time to grow, divide, breathe, or generate energy? Nucleus is the controlling center for all cellular.
So what is nucleus? It is the controlling center of a cell. See, this one is the nucleus, blue colored.
Activities. The nucleus is a spherical structure located generally in the center in the case of animal cells and towards the periphery in plant cells. A double membrane nuclear envelope with a large number of pores separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. The nuclear envelope encloses the semi-fluid nucleoplasm containing many biomolecules. Material exchange between cytoplasm and nucleoplasm occurs via nuclear pores.
What does nuclear pores do? Nuclear pores help in the exchange of material between nucleoplasm and cytoplasm.
Special chemicals from the nucleus signal the cell to stop or start a process. Lies the most important biological molecule, the DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is the hereditary material for almost all living beings. So our resemblance to our parents and ancestors is because of this DNA.
Why do we resemble to our parents? It is because of the DNA.
DNA is passed from one generation to the next via the process of reproduction. This DNA, along with some special proteins, is present in the forms of tangled, fibrous, thread-like material called the chromatin. When the cell is about to divide, this chromatin material rearranges itself to form chromosomes. Every organism has a unique type and number of these chromosomes in its body cells. Attached to chromatin, there is a dense region called the nucleolus. This is rich in another biomolecule called ribonucleic acid. or RNA. It plays a vital role in the formation of ribosomes, a type of cell organelle. Bacteria do not have a true nucleus in their cells. Because of their primitive nuclei, they are categorized as prokaryotes.
RBC lacks nucleus at maturity.
All the living material enclosed inside the plasma membrane is called the protoplasm.
What is protoplasm? It is the living
This
material inside the
was
plasma
coined
membrane.
by Purkinje in 1840. It includes both the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Cytoplasm is the semi-fluid colloidal material inside the cell, excluding the nucleus. It is the site for most biochemical reactions. Cytoplasm contains inorganic molecules, such as water and salts, and organic molecules, such as proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, enzymes, and nucleic acids. Cytoplasm also contains cell organelles that are sites for specialized cell functions. For example, mitochondria are the cell organelles that help in the breaking down of food to release energy. The cytoplasm of a prokaryotic bacterial cell lacks most of the organelles.
This is the structural organization of a cell. See, in a plant cell,
in being alive. A cell has many smaller components. Some function as powerhouses, others as storage areas. Yet others act as gatekeepers, roads, and even as a command center. What are the different components inside a cell? Let us take a journey through an animal cell and learn some interesting facts. An animal cell is like a tiny fluid-filled bag. The outermost part of the animal cell is a thin, flexible layer called the cell membrane. The cell membrane, or the plasma membrane, encloses the whole cell. This membrane separates cells and allows the movement of materials. It controls cellular traffic. Is a cell membrane like the boundary of a city? This cell or plasma membrane encloses the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Would you like to see the cell membrane of the cells in your cheek? This is what cells of your cheek look like.
तो क्लास ये था आपका सेल के बारे में। आगे हम यहीं से कंटिन्यू करेंगे विद द साइटोप्लाज्म। आई होप हमने जितना देखा उतना आप लोगों को अच्छे से समझ आ गया होगा, ठीक है। तो टुडे योर वर्क विल बी यू हैव टू रीड द चैप्टर अगेन, तो आप लोगों को कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो जाए। इज इट क्लियर? तो दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे। थैंक यू।